Hi, this is Citizenkong. Well, a lot of times in discussions, and when communication breaks down, and that happens all the time, is that our definitions of words begin to become skewed or turn into something else. So sometimes we need to get back to basics. And so I'm going to call this the political primer, or do the definitions. And the words conservative and liberal and Democrat and Republican. One of the most hackneyed ways of starting a paper is to say the Webster's Dictionary defines. So we have right here my Merriam-Webster's Collegiate Dictionary. And I'm going to look up the word conservatism. Conservatism. The principles and policies of a conservative party. Disposition in politics to preserve what is established. A political philosophy based on tradition and social stability, stressing established institutions and preferring gradual development to abrupt change. The tendency to prefer an existing or traditional situation to change. Okay, that doesn't sound so bad. I mean, it doesn't sound like, a loony right-winger or anything like that. It's people that want things to stay the same. They embrace their traditions. And, I still keep coming up to resisting change. Well, if there's anybody that hates change, it's me. But it's mostly like change in my personal life. Technology changes too fast. It's some sort of conspiracy to get me to go out there and buy new stuff all the time. Or I hate it when they tear down my favorite building. But then people say to me, well, that's progress. But conservatism doesn't sound so bad, Now I'll look up the word liberal, or liberalism. Liberalism, the quality or state of being liberal. A movement in modern Protestantism emphasizing intellectual liberty and the spiritual and ethical content of Christianity. Well, isn't that surprising? I thought it was the conservatives are the ones that were the good Christians. But here it is. Liberalism is an offshoot of the Protestants. I have a hard time with that word. What's more American than a Protestant? White Anglo-Saxon Protestant. WASP. Oh. And a theory in economics emphasizing individual freedom from restraint and usually based on free competition, the self-regulating market, and the gold standard. Well, that sounds pretty good. Liberalism is about freedom. Now, albeit I'm not a strict liberal in that regard, that I think that the free market needs some regulation. Capitalism run rampant will bring back, the monopolies and the Rockefellers and the land barons and, with their Pinkerton guards shooting the workers, read your history. Turn of the century America, turn of the century Europe, where you had the capitalists unchecked, exploiting the worker, and that gave rise to communism. Ooh, and communism, I'm not a communist, in the strict sense, but I can understand why it came about with that capitalism unchecked. All right, back to the dictionary. A political philosophy based on belief in progress, the essential goodness of the human race, and the autonomy of the individual, and standing for the protection of political and civil liberties. Civil liberties, protecting the civil liberties. ACLU. Okay, that's what they do. They protect your civil liberties, and I think that's why the extreme right hate them. They don't want us to have civil liberties. And it follows by the principles and policies of a liberal party. So when you look at the strict definition of liberal, it's not a dirty word. It's actually a pretty bunch of good stuff, an ethic that's based in Protestant Christianity. So there you go. Liberal is not a dirty word. Liberal is a good thing. And being a conservative isn't bad in a strict sense either. I mean, I've said before, bring back the Barry Goldwater conservative. I mean, there's some traditions and institutions that I want to keep. I want to keep our holidays, our national holidays. I don't want to see Christmas go away. And like I said, in many ways, I hate change, especially when the boss comes up with a new way to do stuff.